Today we're going to take a few minutes and refresh our memory on adding and subtracting decimals. And really, we're going to start to learn that decimals in itself are part of what's called the rational number system. And we're going to start really looking at that today. And then we're going to continue that through our next 2-3 units, really. So we're really exploring more than just whole numbers, the positive numbers and the counting numbers. We're going to look into this idea of rational numbers and working our way through that and looking at all the different number systems we can use, even touching base a little bit on irrational numbers as we go through it so we can learn the different types of numbers we have. So let's get started. So you've added and subtracted decimals before, but as a quick review, remember the key to this is lining up the decimal points. But the question is, why do we do that? Because that's going to be the biggest thing that most kids come into play is like, we know we've been taught this, we've done this, we know that the teacher said line up decimal points because they're the same size. And they're not wrong. But really what I want to connect that to as we keep going is we're going to learn on this idea as we build on our knowledge, as we introduce ideas in algebra, we're going to say it's really going to look like combining like terms. And if you think about that, it's a connection to some other concept. It's a connection to what we're going to be doing in Unit 3 as we start working with fractions, because we know the only way to add and subtract fractions are with like common bases or like denominators. I wonder if that has something to do with this idea of like terms. And we're going to see as we build throughout the year and as you build through your knowledge up through pre-algebra and algebra and farther on, that's really what we want to look at. We can only put things together that are alike. So as you know, you guys can see this is breakdown, line up decimal places, insert any zeros where it needs to be as a placeholder, and then you're going to add and subtract normally, and you're going to drop your decimal. So let's go ahead and just do these couple examples and practice them through. You go ahead and follow along with me. I know you've probably already done this, but I don't like doing mine horizontally. I like to rewrite mine as a vertical problem. So 3 and 54 hundredths plus 7 and 19 hundredths, and we add them up. Then we just continue to follow our rules, like copy, do our regrouping, 7, so 10 and 73 hundredths is our answer. Not a big deal, not a lot of heavy-duty math lifting. Go ahead and let's see, the difference on number 2, as we go ahead and take a look at number 2, is this is where we're going to have to keep in mind that we do have to add some different terms and change some things around, change the way the number is written. And a lot of times when you change things, you're making it different. That's the definition. But when we're adding math has this really, really unique concept is when I add nothing, I don't change anything. I can make it look different, but yet it stays the same. So if I'm doing this problem, it's 2 and 372 thousandths plus 16 and 8 tenths. I can really rewrite 16 and 8 tenths as 16 and 800 thousandths. And then I go ahead and add them up. 2, 7, 3 plus 8 is 11, carry the 1, 19, no grouping, so 19 and 172 thousandths. And the subtraction really isn't any different. As you can see, it's really just considering lining up the decimal places. It gets a little trickier when we have to add zeros, but we can go ahead and do this correctly. So we do our subtraction. We're going to line it up. 6 and 407 thousandths minus 2 and 192 thousandths, and I'm going to subtract 7 minus 2 is 5. Got to regroup, so this becomes a 3. 10 minus 9 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. My final answer is 4 and 215 thousandths. Okay, it's really important though, as you start noticing, I don't know if you've picked up on it, is you use the correct terminology. You can't say 4 decimal point 419.172 or 4.1215. That's not how you speak in math. You've got to talk and you've got to use the right terminology. Okay, and we work our way down to number 4. Again, I know you don't need me to review this, but I'm going to take a few minutes just so that I can say I've done everything. So now I'm adding 42 and 3 tenths, and I'm subtracting 3 and 905 thousandths. So this is where I'm adding my zeros, and I'm going to use my regrouping skills. I really would like you to regroup all at once, especially when you're going across zeros to going, okay, this is a 2, that's 9, 10. Just a way to know, because you know you're going to borrow. It's a way to be able to think past it. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. Got to regroup again, so 12. So I've got 12 minus 9 is 3. Still got to regroup again, down to 3. 11 minus 3 is 8. So 38 and 395 thousandths. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to give questions 1 and 3 a try. Go ahead and pause the video, do these 2 problems, and see if you have any questions. We'll go over the answers in just a few moments. All right, so again, we're going to line these up. It doesn't matter if I line them up at, put 803, 8 and 308 thousandths on top, or 5 and 91 hundredths on top. It doesn't matter because it's addition. So we'll put our zeros, 8, 1, 2, carry over group, 13, 14. So 14 and 218 thousandths is what you should have gotten. Moving my way down to this next subtraction problem, 6 and 7 tenths minus 2 and 156 thousandths. And we're going to add our 2 zeros, and we'll do our regrouping at once. So 6, 9, and this becomes 10 because we know we're going to borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. So I have 4 and 544 thousandths. All right, let's move down. Let's try something a little more challenging. Let's try numbers 5 and 7. Okay, pause the video and take a second and look at that one and see how you come up with them. Yes, I specifically gave you both subtraction problems just because I find that's where we make our couple more mistakes. So I have 21 minus 16 and 83 hundredths. Again, we're going to do our regrouping. 0, 9, 10. 10 and 3 is 7. 9 and 8 is 1. Our one last regroup. So we have 14 and 17 hundredths, sorry. And now we're going to do our last little bit, 27 and 1 thousandths minus 18 and 64 hundredths. Now, again, this is where I do take a little step. I don't always add my extra zeros as placeholders unless I need them. So here, I don't need them. I can do 1 because what do I know is there? Well, nothing. And mathematically, the number is 0, so 1 minus 0 is, well, 0. Do my regrouping, and I know it's going to have to regroup here. I see it. So I'm going to make that a 1, 16, 9, 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 3 is, sorry, 9 minus 6 is 3. My brain was working faster than my mouth. And 16 minus 18 is 8. So I get 8 and 316 thousandths. Now, working my way down here, this does start to make a difference. So as I look at 9 and 10, 9 and 10 have multiple operations in the same problem. You learned your order of operations a long time ago, hopefully, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition, subtraction. They're done at the same time, but the key to this is they're done left to right. I can't change the order right now. Even if it would make it easier on myself, I can't do this part first and then that. I've got to work them both ways. Now, sometimes it's not going to make any difference. Sometimes it's not going to cause any trouble, but sometimes it does, especially when we start getting up here into multiplication and division. So I want you to work key and work it across. So 11, 7 and 3 hundredths plus 11 is 18 and 3 hundredths minus 2 and 518 thousandths. So we work our problem through, we regroup 10, 2, I'm going to do our last regroup 7, 10 here. 5 minus 8 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 2 is 5, carry the 1, and then 1. So the final answer is 15 and 512 thousandths. Go ahead and take a moment and complete number 10, and then we'll jump in to do a couple word problems. And by a couple, I mean 1. Pause the video, and when you're done, check your answer. All right, so let's take this one in case. So 16 and 142 thousandths minus 15 and 7 tenths. Put our zeros, 4 minus 0. So these, again, we don't need these here, but I put them just to continue to make it a little simpler. 11, so 11 minus is 4, 15 is 0. So I've got 442 thousandths plus 6 and 82 hundredths. 2 plus 0 is 2. 6, 2 carry the 1. It ends up being 7 and 262 thousandths. All right, now the biggest difference on working on our applications, you'll see that a lot of times our application, we're just going to have word problems. We're going to apply what we just learned to real life. Go ahead and we take a look at this and we say, okay, how do we do a problem like this? Well, we read carefully. The key is to work through, really thinking through, and I use the cube strategy. Okay, when we talk about cubes, I really focus mainly on this first part. I circle any key numbers, okay? key numbers, and I really look for numbers in units. Okay, then I look for any, underline the question. I really want to see, okay, what am I trying to figure out? Then I go through and I box any of the keywords. And when it comes to that, we're looking for words that trigger an operation. And we'll spend a lot more time on this, but I'm really thinking you'll be okay as we work our way through this. Then we evaluate, we work our problems. What do we need to do? Okay, what do I need to do? I add, subtract, multiply, divide. Is there some stuff I can leave out? Is there extra things I don't need? And then finally, I'm going to solve and check. So really, I look, before I jump to solve, I go, okay, so I'm just looking at it, okay. Or you might even see the word simplify. That's pretty much my preferred word. I'm going to actually change solve out and put the word simplify here, because I'm not solving without an equation, without actually solving an equation. I'm simplifying a problem. So simplify the equation or the expression. So I read my question. If song A is 402 minutes long, song B is 3 8/10 minutes, or 3 8/10 minutes long, how many more minutes does song A and song B? So I'm going to look through, okay, my units. Here are my numbers in units. Okay, those are my two keys. Underline the question. How many more minutes is song A than song B? How many more? This is my keyword here. How many more? And that's going to trigger my idea. Okay, I'm going with subtraction. Okay, so there's nothing extra information I need to worry about. I've got all my pieces. So 4 and 2/100 minus 3 and 8/10. Regroup. 2 minus 0 is 2. 10 minus 8 is 2. And then I have nothing left over. So 0.22 minutes longer is my problem, is my answer. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I actually want you to try 12 and 14. Try those two problems and see what you can figure out as you work through them. When you're ready, go ahead and unpause the video and see what you came up with. All right, so let's jump into question 12. So key numbers, 560, 96, and 1705. Okay, those are our key numbers. We underline the question. Okay, if he spends this much on lunch, what's his new balance? So we really want the final balance. So, okay, let's see what we got. So we got some keywords here. So we've got this had, that's starting. Deposit, that's a keyword. Spends is another keyword. There's really nothing I can leave out. I've got a multi-step expression here. I've got double simplification. I've got to add, then I've got to subtract. And we're going to follow the order the problem does it in. Okay, just so we're used to continuing to work through that. So we're going to do $560.94, and you add $96.18. So 2 carry the 1, so we get 9, 10, 11, carry the 1, 7, no regrouping, 15, carry the 1. So he has 600, or she, no, him, so he has $657.12, and then he's going to spend $17.05 on his lunch. Now, I'm going to be real honest. When I have a problem that looks like this, I'm not going to regroup. I'm not going to write my regroup, and I'm not going to hold you to it, because I know 12 minus 5 is a math fact. So I'm going to say it's 7 cents. I've got to remember to add my 0 just in case, but I know it's 7, and I can do the math in my mind. And I want you to be able to think, where are some ways I can show it if I need it, but I need to be able to be able to think in multiple pieces together. 7 minus 7 is 0. 5 minus 1 is 40. So our friend Casey has $640.07 in his bank account. Coming over here, last one, Jacksonville, Florida, 554 and 58 hundredths miles from Charleston, West Virginia. Charleston is 217 and 8/10 miles from Cleveland, Ohio. If the three cities lie in the same latitude, what is the distance from Jacksonville to Cleveland? All right, so this one, we're going to look at this problem. Okay, so let's find our keyword. We're going to circle. So we got 558 miles, 217 miles. What's my question? Find the distance from Jacksonville to Cleveland. Box any keywords. This is really, it's going to be from this to this. It's going to come all the way over here. Okay. All right, so that says, I don't know, so I really don't have to think about any of those other words. It's just an extra detail. That same longitude doesn't really matter. So we're saying we're going to add these together. 554 and 58 hundredths plus 217 and 8 tenths. All right, 8, 13, carry the 1, 11, 12, carry the 1, 7. So 772 772 and 3,800 miles apart from each other, from Jacksonville to Cleveland. All right, now that you had a good handle on this, if you have any questions, just jump in and reach out and talk to me, and I'd be happy to help you.